All right, everybody, we are live. Oh man, this is a special moment. Everybody, it's a special moment. You know why? Because we're on YouTube Live. Let us know where you're tuning in from. Let us know. We're doing this every Wednesday because Wednesday words of wisdom, obviously, right? And you're probably wondering who the heck is this man right here? This is one of my best friends, one of my ex-roommate, like on ex-Google, ex-Snap, ex-Cisco, ex-roommate, Mr. Frank Bidiaco, aka the Great.
Yeah, what it is.
Yeah. So,
how y'all doing?
Yeah, so everybody put in the chat where y'all from. I know we can have some people tuning in, but yeah, let us know, okay? But anyways, Frank, you want to give a quick intro of yourself to our audience and let them know who you are? It lasts about 5 seconds. That's why I thought the same thing.
Yeah, sure. Okay. So everyone, hope everyone's well, doing and staying healthy. My name is Frank. I'm a financial analyst for the Amazon devices at Amazon, where I'm in charge of the employee expenses and the headcount and conducting various analyses on those headcount. Prior to Amazon, I worked at EA in their finance rotation program, in which I did 4 rotations. I done corporate accounting, corporate FP&A, internal audit, as well as digital revenue. And prior to that, I worked at Harvest Property, which is a real estate company. Did a lot of accounting associate, as well as financial coordinator, doing a lot of AP, AR functions. And before that, I was at UCR, Highlanders. Go Highlanders! You know what I'm saying?
And you know, UCR, you know what I'm saying? UCR, man, UCR. UCR. Let us know. Look at that, Josephine. Look at that. You got people saying Josephine, Frank the GOAT. Oh, man.
The GOAT.
All right, awesome to hear, man. Yeah, Frank's been one of my really good friends since forever. Yeah, we used to work out with each other. That's why I got all this muscle.
Yeah, you know, doing all those push-ups, right?
Doing all those push-ups for no reason at all.
Yeah, and dumbbells.
Dumbbells, right? Yeah, Frank and I, we at UCR, we were always chilling, hanging out. I actually helped him with his with your EA interview and your Amazon interview, right?
Yeah. So funny story about that. So during my 4th year when I was at UCR, I applied to. I actually didn't apply. So I just made a LinkedIn, like I think in 2016. I think I talked to you about that. You say I make a LinkedIn, and I was like, "What is that?" You said, "Oh, it's like a kind of like a Facebook, but more professional about it." I was like, "Okay, let me check it out." And I remember the career center said, "Oh, make sure you make a LinkedIn." I already made one, so I was just exploring that, seeing like what it is. And then after that, I remember in 2017 in May, EA was hiring for their rotation program for 2017. And I said, "Oh, okay, so let me see what I can do about that." So I remember I talked to you about that, and then you told me, "Oh, reach out to like alum." So I said, "Okay." So I reached out to an alum that went to UCR, and he was the director of recruiting at that time. So reached out to him. I said, "Hey, my name's Frank. I go to UCR. I'd like to like get to know more about this position and as well as EA." And so he referred me to his direct report, who we chatted about that. But unfortunately, I didn't get the role because they were looking for someone more finance based. So I was like, okay, that's fine. So after that, I was like, all right, So at that time, I had no job. I had to figure out what I was going to do. So after I graduated, I was looking for like the LA market. I was looking at the San Diego market, having no luck. And I was like, okay. So, and it's like, we're in like July at the time. So like about 1 month in. And so I was like, okay, what am I going to do? So I reached out to my friend who lived in the Bay Area, and he said that, oh yeah, I'm going to stay up here for a little bit. We should live together. So, okay. So that opened up a whole new market for me. Remember, and keep in mind, I'd never been to the Bay Area, never like explored it. Never been to San Francisco, never seen anything about that. Didn't know how like expensive the rental prices are. I just thought it was just like a very popular area, right? And so I applied there, and that's when I got into Harvest Properties, and I was there for about a year. I was an accounting associate, and then I remember like week after my birthday in 2018, that's when EA said, "Oh, we're hiring for our 2018 class," and I was like, "Okay." I said, "I'll make sure this one's mine this time." So that's when I reached out to the same UCR alum, and then instead of doing that, I reached out. After doing that, then I reached out to other recruiters, and luckily that one recruiter that I reached out to, he was the recruiting for that role, and then that's what kickstarted it off.
Hey, Wonsulting strategies right there.
Yeah, that was before Wonsulting became Wonsulting too. So
first client without even being client,
right?
You know. I'm just kidding. But yeah, that's what's up. Yeah, Frank has been networking on LinkedIn like crazy, and been able to utilize it, especially getting his career. Could you talk a little bit more about like any advice for networking and how it like played an effect in your career and how other people here can use it as well?
Yeah. So for me, how you can network is really, find first like find that company that you're interested in. So for me, it was like, okay, first, what industry do you want to be in? For me, it's like I wanted to be in entertainment tech. So that's what drove me to EA. Also been a fan of EA since I was like in like I was 5 years old playing NBA Live and all that stuff. So once I do that, then that's like, okay, now let me see what role that they have, and that's when I found the financial analyst role, and that's when I went to LinkedIn and try to explore to see, okay, go into the search bar, try to understand, like, okay, who's hiring for this role. So try to type in some keywords or look for people who are in the same role as the one I'm trying to pursue. Once I found that, then that's when I would reach out to them, message them on LinkedIn, and say, hey, my name is Frank. I'm interested in this role. I want to talk more about that. So really just trying to find that common ground between myself as well as the person I'm trying to network with. And then at the end of it, I don't really, even if there's no role open for me, I still try to keep that connection with them as well.
Dang, that sounds like me. All the time exciting to clients and mentees about what to do, right?
Yeah.
That's what's up, everybody. That's what's up. Y'all listen to Frank, man. Frank here is he knows his stuff, as he always says. So if you all found it insightful, click that like button. You see that thumbs up? Click that thumbs up button. Okay, let's give him some love and show him some love. All right. Yeah, thumbs up. 2 thumbs up. Okay.
2 thumbs.
Also, too, as well, everybody. After I was gonna say, comment. Yeah, any questions y'all got, put into the comments too. I'm just gonna keep asking Frank questions. But we'll shout you out if you ask some questions, okay? But anyways, another thing too as well, Frank. So I know you're at Amazon now. So you went from basically working in real estate, then you went into gaming, and then now you're in tech field. It's absolutely awesome. Talk a little more about, and everybody in the comments too as well. Let us know what kind of field you're trying to get into. But tell us more about how is it different from going from gaming to like technical field?
Yeah. So you look at when you look at EA is very specific in terms of entertainment. They focus more on gaming and entertainment, whereas Amazon's a big company, so they're in multiple industries. They're in devices, they're in gaming, they're in cloud, they're in all this stuff like that. So making that pivot from just being in one company that has only one industry, whereas Amazon's in multiple ones, it was like really opening for me. That's when, as I right now, I'm trying to network with other professionals at Amazon, trying to understand, like, okay, like besides my role in finance, like how can I branch out, see like, oh, what does other people do in different teams and role as well.
Nice. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I mean, no, honestly, the jump from all those different companies is awesome, and you're able to utilize LinkedIn and do all of that. So that's incredible to say the least. And I was gonna say, what drew you to Amazon specifically out of all the companies that you were trying to get into?
Yeah. I remember we were living together. I was telling you about this. But yeah, so yeah, I was in the rotation program. The rotation program for me was about to end, and so for me, I found out, like, I wanted to pursue something in FP&A. So that's when I said, okay, let me look internally at EA as well, looking outside. So at that time, I was looking at companies I were interested in. So I was interviewing at PlayStation, Facebook, Activision, other companies, just to try to get an understanding of that. And in all those roles, I networked my way. So either a recruiter reach out to me on LinkedIn email, or I would reach out to someone that works at the company. And then for Amazon was interesting because for Amazon, I just applied. I remember my ex coworker and my friend Cynthia, she sent me the role and said, "Oh, you should apply for this." And I was just like, "Okay." I was thinking about that. I don't really want to. Amazon's like, it's Amazon, right? I don't think I'll be able to get into that. She's like, "No, shoot your shot." And I was like, "Okay, I'll try it." And then I ignored it for a little bit. Then I remember a couple of days later, it popped up on my feed in LinkedIn and said, "Oh, you should here's this role." And I was like, "Okay, let me just check it out." So I read the role. I feel like I was qualified for each. I checked off all the marks that they were looking for. And that's when I said, "Okay, let me just apply." So I just applied. I submitted my resume, submitted information. Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking, like, yeah, I didn't even network my way into that, but Amazon was so big, I was like, I don't know how to like focus in on who's at that company or who's in that role. There's so many financial analysts, and some of them are in different areas of Amazon, so it's kind of hard for me to drill that down. So that's why I just applied. And then like 2 days later, I got an email saying, "Oh, we want to interview you," and I was like, "Wait, what?" And I remember I went to your room. I was like, "Yo, I got it." You're like, "Okay, let's get it." Yeah, and then I went through the process. At the time, I was interviewing with 4 other companies. And then at the end of it, I just went with Amazon, just not mainly for my manager, because what I look for when I look for a company is team culture as well as manager support. And a manager that really supports career growth and development as well, that will help you be successful, not only in the role, but also in your career as well. So that's what really drew me to Amazon.
Love that. Love that. Number one, everybody, look at that. So he just applied and he didn't get referred and he got in. So that just shows, for example, I know I tell people don't apply, get referred. Honestly, apply if you don't have a referral, and you never know what'll happen. Okay. So definitely do that. And number two, your manager is extremely important, especially in the workforce. I totally agree with this, because you could have the worst manager in the world and not enjoy the work that you do. But if you have a great manager who supports you in everything that you do and pushes you to be the best that you can be, you're going to not only make it, but also be very happy, right? Exactly. Is that what everybody wants? Everybody in the chat, you want to be happy? Put hashtag happy if you want to be happy, because I want to be happy, you know? So totally agree with that, Frank, too, as well. That is absolutely awesome. I was going to say too, so for Amazon, right? So what do you do at Amazon?
Yeah, for Amazon, yeah. So I'm really in charge of the headcount and the employee expenses tracking. So when I say headcount, I mean, people. How many people do we have in a group? So I'm in charge of just consolidating and reporting on those metrics and giving it out to teams that need that information. And on a monthly basis, I also conduct any variance analyses to see what's driving any variances in either of the businesses for that matter. I also support the forecasting cycle for our employee expenses on the devices roadmap. So when I say devices, I mean like you have your Kindle, you have your Fire TV, you have your Echo, devices like that. So really just more on when the device is like an idea to when it launches and how we sustain that device as well.
Dang, that sounds cool. That sounds very interesting. More interesting than I would perceive finance to be.
Yeah.
I would say everybody in the chat, are you all interested in finance? If you are, let us know if you're interested in finance, because finance sounds pretty dope. Actually, I graduated with a finance degree.
Yeah, I remember that.
I graduated with that, but it's because I don't even know why I did. I just did it. But that's awesome insight, Frank. That's incredible. And I was going to say too, what skills do you need to get into these non-technical fields, like the finance field? Like, what would you recommend people have? Just like basic skills like Excel, or like what's usually good?
Yeah, so I'll break it down by technical, interpersonal, and then just personal.
Hey, everybody write notes on this, right? Everybody, these are skills you need to get down.
Yeah. So for technical, I'd say it's obviously Excel. Being comfortable with systems. You don't have. I mean, for me, you don't really have to know the system like too well, but just be able to understand like basic formulas, understand. And sometimes if you know advanced formula, that will help you. But if you don't, I mean, that'll be okay. Depends on what role that you're seeking for. In terms of interpersonal, I'd say a big one will be communication, because you will be working with people from different levels, from the analyst all the way up to the VP. So be able to communicate the data, be confident in what you're presenting. Also be able to be on the tip of your toes to understand any questions that they might anticipate. And then also customer service as well. And then for personal skill, I say going back to the interpersonal, I say also be able to prioritize as well, because sometimes you'd be given like multiple deliverables. I mean, it'd be done like one day or the end of the week, and you'd be able to prioritize, okay, this needs to be done, this needs to be done. And that's when I remember you mentioned this, applying the Eisenhower method, be able to prioritize it into like different boxes, right? What's important and what's urgent and what's not important and urgent. And then I say for personal, I say just being flexible, because Amazon, they move really fast. Sometimes some things will get thrown at you that you were not expecting. This will be able to flex your schedule to be able to understand, like, okay, how can I tackle this new problem? And I also say being resilient too. Resiliency, I say that's one big thing as well. And yeah, I think those like the big ones. Also adaptable, being able to adapt to your environment too.
Basically read out the leadership principles of Amazon. So y'all, if you haven't heard that, look at the leadership Amazon leadership principles, because those are especially catered during Amazon's little interview process. So make sure to do that. And we actually have a question right here. It's a good question by Jalen. Hello, Jalen. It says, what have you learned most from being such a large, well-known company such as Amazon? Is there a sense of urgency or pressure because of who you work for?
That's a good question. So Jalen, yeah, I haven't seen him since high school.
Jalen, what's up,
Yeah,
man?
Jalen Johnson. Yeah, man. Question. Well-known company as Amazon, is there a sense of urgency or pressure? No, I don't really think so. Yeah, when you think about it, it's like, yeah, Amazon's a big company, but Amazon's kind of like even though they're big, it's kind of like multiple startups, right? Because sometimes Amazon will say, hey, we're gonna do this, and then sometimes it'll be either successful, or sometimes it will fail. You have to move forward with that. So I don't really feel any sense of pressure, because at least for me, my team is very supportive and very making me being comfortable with helping me grow myself in this role. Because for me, I was thinking about, because before I started, I was like, oh my god, it's Amazon. Like I probably got I was reading like all the blind reading, like all the things that people were saying. I was like, okay, it might not go well. And then once I jumped on, I talked to my manager, talked to my team about that, and they said that they're very, very supportive and want to make sure I'm comfortable with what I'm doing. I know that it's Amazon and move fast, but making sure that you are comfortable in your role and be able to succeed is what the most important thing. So don't really feel any type of pressure. And people I met so far have been very friendly, very supportive, and welcoming for me too.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Definitely, everybody. Yeah, you can make a big splash in a big pond always, all the time too, as well. And consistently networking is key. If y'all find it insightful, click that thumbs up button too as well. Some thumbs up for Mr. Frank here. That's some really good insight, Frank. And I was gonna say too, like, how is it? Like, how would you like? Because everything's virtual right now, and obviously going to probably next year. What advice would you have for those who are like interviewing, and everybody who's in the chat too as well? Put if you're interviewing virtually, are you in the interview stage? Are you in the applying stage? Let us know in the chat. But like, what would you advise for any tips on interviewing virtually?
Yeah, virtually. I mean, for me personally, I think interviewing virtually is much easier than like in person, just because of like you don't have to worry about like especially if you have a current job right now, you don't want to like, oh, I have to call off, or I have to like say something, call off and go to that job, right? So, but yeah, interviewing virtually, it's really just like you're sometimes most people are on Snapchat or Instagram, right, and they record themselves. So just think of it like that. You're just talking to someone. Yeah, it's just like basically you do it almost all the time, so it's not really much different when you're talking to someone. It's more comfortable because you're in your own space. You're not in like you're not in a surrounding empty conference room talking to like a panel of people, right? So I say, like, when you're interviewing virtually, just just knowing what to say and knowing how to answer the question head on, and also having some notes around your laptop or on your wall, so in case they ask you a question like, oh, what are the financials for Amazon, you're just like, oh yeah, and you can look at the wall and be like, oh, it's 10 billion or something like that, it's a random number, so just be able also having stuff like that, so you have your notes around you, so that way you be able to answer those questions too, compared to like when you're in person, where it's like you have to like have it not memorized, but at least have a general idea of it.
Facts. And you know what? Everybody just made a TikTok on that, so follow us on TikTok, and
Yep.
and you'll find that strategy right there. I actually just posted that today. I'll put it into the chat. Okay. But that's some good insight, Frank. Really enjoy that. And does anybody have any questions? If y'all got any questions, please put into the chat. Frank can answer anything, hopefully everything. I don't know. Maybe how I am as a roommate. I'm pretty awesome to be a roommate. I don't know, right? I don't know.
Yeah. He can cook. He can cook now.
I can cook now.
Yeah.
A quick story, everybody. But Frank was actually the one who was cooking a lot. He made all the good food to put on the story. It's usually Frank, 80% of the time.
Yeah.
1% of the time was me. So so if y'all got any questions, please let us know. Well, yeah, I was gonna say too as well, like, for how is rejection basically played an effect in your career search and journey?
Oh, rejection. That really drove me to where I am today, because, when I got that rejection from EA the first time, it was just like, okay, that's fine. I'm not going to, because for me at the first, it was like, okay, I probably can never apply there again, because once I was thinking like, maybe once you say no, it's like, you're done. They will never accept you. Right.
Yeah.
But then when I left college and then as I started talking to people, it was more like, maybe it's not that the reason, maybe it's because, you don't have enough experience. So that's when I was like, okay, so that's what really pushed me and persevered to be able to make sure that I get into that rotation program and being able to see the different areas within the finance organization. So really, rejection really fueled me, and it still fuels me to this day.
That's awesome. And I was going to say, everybody, yeah, if you get rejected from a company, doesn't mean that you are blacklisted from it. It just means that you can ultimately, sometimes you just don't have enough experience, which is totally fine.
Yep.
But always remember that you can always apply to them later on or go from later on. So it's not the end if you get rejected. It's basically only the beginning. Okay. So always remember that. And everybody has a rejection story. Remember that. Not every path is linear. Not every path is straight. Every story has a rejection story somewhere, but if you're able to persevere, that is what's most important, especially in the job search. But yeah, anybody, if nobody has any other questions, I'm gonna ask Frank one last question, unless someone pops one up, but let us know if it does. But Frank, what is like one last piece of advice that you give that you've utilized universally, whether it's in regards to your career, your life? What would you recommend to people?
Yeah, I'll speak more to the. I think it's apply to anyone. So for me, I highly recommend that if you all can, highly recommend you get into a rotation program. The reason why I say that is because a rotation program can really show you different areas within the business. And sometimes I remember I was in EA, I talked to people about, my rotation experience. They're like, yeah, I wish I would have had that when I was, around your age, So I highly recommend that, because not only that you get to build up on your skills, as well as, any new systems and stuff like that, but you can also build your network. For me, I've worked with people, like I mentioned, from the analyst all the way up to the VP. Now, and I remember I was talking to my manager about that. She never really interacted with like some people that I've interacted with, that really just grew my network. So if you all can, regardless if it's in the company that you're interested in or an industry you're interested in, I highly recommend that you should try to get into a rotation program, because I feel like it's like one of those things where you can gain a lot of horizontal experience. So basically having a breadth experience. And then not only that, but you can also be an asset for the company, because they know that, oh, this person has seen this org, so they will be able to improve our team based on what he or she have seen. So that's something that I highly recommend that each and every one of you should be able to pursue. And also, of course, and given the times that we're in, obviously I know it's like kind of cliche when you hear it, but like, don't give up. Their opportunities I know they're tough right now, because you're competing with like multiple people, regardless of from entry level or people who have multiple years experience. But for me, I was able to find something. So I'm pretty sure hopefully anyone can also pursue that as well and find something that they're interested in.
That's a good mindset. I think that mindset piece is extremely important that you mentioned right there. And everybody, it's very important to have that positive, optimistic mindset, because if you have that and you are still going through your job search, etc., you're going to be able to make it there, because you're going to meet so many different people who are going to be helpful. And who's also helpful? Wonsulting, of course, but also both of us. So always remember that. Okay.
Exactly.
But yeah, Frank, I'll just say, where can people add you on LinkedIn or where
Yeah. You can add me on LinkedIn. Yeah, my LinkedIn, my name, Frank Bediaco Jr. Instagram, Frank_DA Great. Same Twitter is the same handle. Yeah, you can catch me on there. Anyone has any questions, I'm always open to helping people as best as I can.
Perfect. Yeah, everybody definitely add Frank on LinkedIn. Send him a personalized invite. Remember, personalized invite, add a note. I'm actually going to load up his LinkedIn right now and throw it into the chat so y'all can add him. And definitely add him. But yeah, if nobody has any other questions, we'll probably let Frank go and let him enjoy his Wednesday night. But hopefully that was insightful to everybody. If there's no more questions, and if you all like that, click that thumbs up button. It's absolutely a pleasure having you, Frank, and we're having these every Wednesday. We try to do this just to interview awesome people like yourself, and then also give some insights, especially to our Wonsulting community and individuals. So we're super thankful for Frank, and if you all are thankful for Frank, put #Frank into the chat. If you show some love to Frank, he's been a huge supporter of Wonsulting, and we all know each and every one of you are huge supporters too as well. Okay, cool.
All right, cool.
All right. Awesome. Thanks, Frank.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. And by the way, I beat Frank in basketball every time.
Okay, relax. I beat him in 2K though.
Right, 2K, whatever that is, right? All right, y'all. If everyone says thanks, Frank. Everyone's saying #Frank. Look at that. All right. Frank.
I love it.
They love you, Frank. They love you, Frank. All right, everybody, add Frank on LinkedIn. And thanks again. We'll see you all soon. Make sure to look at our Discord for a lot more of these events, for updates on them, and add our speakers before or after the events so you can be able to get to know them. And ultimately, hopefully, you'll turn all from underdogs into winners. Cool.
Awesome. All right, cool.
All right, Frank. Gonna end the broadcast, but thanks again, man.
All right, see ya.
See ya.